cousin. It's your favorite cousin Ken here at the Lighthouse Women's Wellness Center. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about shadow work. I know some of you are just now beginning your spiritual journey. Some of you are already knee deep in it, and some of you are like, look, I'm already on the other side. I'm already ascended. I know myself, and I'm doing the work. So, no matter where you are on the path, you're going to have to face the darkness of who you are. That is what shadow work is. Shadow work is facing that aspect of you that is laying dormant or you're suppressing, and it's time for you to face it. Okay. It's time for you to face it. And I know that a lot of people think about shadow work and they think about dark forces and negative entities or demonic forces and things like that. But the truth is, be honest, I'm your favorite cousin Ken, okay? Every person has a dark aspect to who they are. Every single person. That includes you, that includes me, that includes your mama, that includes your daddy, your children, and everybody else. Everybody has a lower aspect. Yes, we have our higher self. We all are on a journey, or not all, but those of us that are being called to this path, we are on a journey of ascension and healing and things like that. But there's no way to get to the light or get to the higher self unless you go through the darkness. And that's the truth. I'm going to tell you straight up, the hardest battles that you're going to have to fight is going to be those battles that are going to come from within. And I really don't like to refer to them as battles because I know that if you fight, you will get destroyed. So that's why I don't like to refer to fighting this negativity and stuff like that, because I know that that's not how you do your shadow work. You'll hear people talk about doing the shadow work. The shadow work requires your patience. It requires your attention, almost like a child. If you have a child that is out of control, right? This child is completely doing whatever it is that they want to do. I don't know if you have children out there. I do, and they all are different. And I have had the great pleasure of raising a child that was out of control. At one point in his life, he was. And we just had to be patient because we tried so hard to punish him and take things away from him and all the things that parents do to discipline their children, and none of it worked. And in fact, anytime we would do anything like that, he would actually get worse. So I had to learn as a parent that it's best to learn your child, figure out why they are doing what they're doing instead of instantly going to punishment or instantly going to taking things away from them, or like I was raised, putting your hands on them, whatever. It's best to try to figure them out. And when it comes to your shadow work, you have to learn how to do the same thing if you want to stay in the game. Because I'm going to tell you, if you try to fight, if you try to discipline your shadow self when your shadow self ain't in the mood, you're going to end up doing something to yourself, or you're going to end up doing something to somebody else. And that's the reason why a lot of spiritual people, they end up doing things. It's like, dang, why would they do that? Why are they losing their mind? Because they're fighting with the aspect of themselves that is destructive. We all have a part of us that is destructive. Remember, God is the generator, operator, and the destroyer. We all have this aspect of us that is destructive. And there's nothing wrong with this part of ourselves. We just have to learn how to control it and learn when to be destructive, when we need to remove things, when we need to, tap into that shadow aspect of ourselves, and when not to. When you start off on the path, you're just doing whatever. You're just living life as normal. So you're not really thinking about this lower aspect of yourself. You just think that this is how I am. So, say for instance, like me, if I get upset about something, the way that I used to respond to it is I'm going to cuss you out. Period. Okay. I grew up like that. I'm not the type that's going to hold my tongue. If you say something to me, you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. That's how I grew up, and that was acceptable. But when I started to heal and I started to get spiritually connected, and spirit had to teach me, no, that's not how you respond. Just because somebody is saying something to you that's disrespectful, that doesn't mean that you have to lower your vibration and come down to where they are. You have to learn how to have conversation with people to where you can come to a conclusion because you're an adult. And I'm like, what? I don't want to be no adult. I want to be petty. They going to be petty, so I'm going to be petty. And it's like, no, that's unacceptable. The way I was raised, I did not see people that were emotionally in control. If they felt some type of way, meaning the people that I grew up around, if they feel some type of way, you're going to know it and you might feel it. Okay. That's just how I grew up. But now I understand that when you're around people that are like that, they are not the best example of an adult, even though they're grown. It could be your parents, it could be your friends, it could be your aunties, your uncles, your grandparents, it could be whoever. Just because they're older than you, it doesn't mean that they are a good representation of an adult, okay? Because an adult knows how to handle themselves. They know how to handle every aspect of themselves. And doing the shadow work helps you with being an adult. So this is how I like to look at it. The shadow aspect of you is like a child. All right. It's out of control. It's doing whatever it is that it wants to do. Your higher self, when you connect to the spirit, your higher self is like the parent. So you're reparenting yourself. You'll hear people talk about this. When you reparent yourself, then your higher self is going to have the final say. You're not going to allow your lower aspect to get what it wants every time it wants it, say what it wants to say, whenever it wants to say, whatever. You allow your higher self to guide what you think, say, and do so that you can check that aspect of yourself. Not in a way where you're being rude or aggressive with this part of you, but like a parent, you take the time, you sit down, you get to know this aspect of yourself. I don't like to think of it as this part of you that you're hiding from the world because I'm going to be honest with you. There are things about you that you don't even know about you, and that's real. Only spirit, which is our creator, will reveal those things to you when you're ready. All right. Most people in the world, they don't have a connection to spirit. So they are completely unaware of who they are. And I can say this for a fact because I lived like this most of my life. I did not know who I was. I was just living life as normal, as usual, trying to survive, making money, going to work, taking care of children, eating whatever. I was just trying to make it. I was not intentional about living life. And most people are not intentional about living life. And I know that only spirit can give you those eyes to see and ears to hear. You have to be called. Everybody is not called. Everybody will not get it. So if you're around people and you know that they're living in their shadow, they living on that low level, it's best to just leave them on that low level because only spirit can reveal to them who they are and how they're showing up in their life. You can sit there and talk to them every single day, and they can nod their head and shake their head and act like they know exactly what you're talking about, but they do not get a thing you talking about. I'm telling you right now, because they're not at that level of awareness. And it's not to say that people that are on a higher level are better than others. It's just being more advanced. It's like when you have children, you have an 18-year-old, you have a 12-year-old, and then you have a 5-year-old. If your 18-year-old is trying to explain something to your 5-year-old and your 5-year-old is not understanding it, they just don't understand it. Okay? They just don't understand it. So there's no sense in trying to make the 5-year-old understand, say, algebra, because the 5-year-old is like, what, this doesn't make sense. I don't understand algebra. What is this? The 18-year-old would be wasting their time trying to explain algebra to a 5-year-old. So what has to happen? The 5-year-old has to continue to live, go through different cycles, and then once they get up to that level to where the 18-year-old is, then they will be able to comprehend algebra. And I'm just saying algebra, for example, because I know algebra, you probably take that when you're 14 or 15 or something like that. But you get what I'm saying. Everybody is at different levels. It's not to look down on them, but honestly, the best thing you can do is just leave them to grow because only spirit can reveal to them what they need to know in time. And that's the same thing that happens to us. And that's the reason why we have to be gentle with ourselves while we're on this path, because there are times when we just don't know because we're not at that level of awareness. And spirit will not tell you anything that you cannot handle. You will not get that information. So if you don't know certain things and you are behaving a certain type of way, that's normal. All right. Just like we're talking about the 5-year-old. It's normal for a 5-year-old to do 5-year-old things. But as you grow and as you evolve, no longer acceptable. And the people that I'm talking to, you are at a higher level or you're going to a higher level, and your behavior is no longer acceptable if you want to become the greatest version of yourself. And if you're listening to me, I know that you want to become the greatest version of yourself. I know you do. So it's time, all right? That shadow aspect of you, I don't want to call it that ugly aspect of you, but it's time for that ugly little friend to come on out the closet. And for some of you, you already are doing your shadow work. You know it because you've opened yourself up to spirit. Once you start to open yourself up to meditation and doing these different spiritual practices, you have to be ready for what comes with that. Not just the good, but there's also work that you have to do because remember, we are souls that came here to ascend. That's it. All right. So we're here making observations and we're here making adjustments. That is what we're doing. The soul has entered the body, incarnated into the body in order for the soul to have experiences. So you're experiencing life, but remember that you are not the experiences. And sometimes we get caught up, especially when it comes to our shadow work. We say, okay, this is who I am. But I'm going to tell you right now, that is not who you are. That's just an aspect of who you are. But you are the soul. That is who you are. And you can decide which way you want to go. Do you want to live as this lower aspect of you, or do you want to live as the greatest version of you? As a human, you have the ability to choose. With just a soul, you don't have that ability. But the fact that you have a body, you can now make choices. That is your human superpower. There is no other creation that can make choices other than the human being. BEAN. Okay. You can make choices. So, whatever choices you make, is going to align you with certain results in your life. So wherever you are now, you have decided to be there. If you're on a job right now, you have said, this is the job that I want. If you're living in a certain home, this is the home that I want. If you're living in a certain location, you said, this is where I want to be. Everything happening in your life, you have decided, this is what I want. When we're children, we don't have the ability to choose. But when we become adults, we have the ability to choose. And when you're doing your shadow work, you have to know that your greatest superpower is your ability to choose. When you are triggered, that is not an excuse for you to say, I'm triggered, so I'm going to allow my shadow to act how it wants to act. Remember, your shadow is just like a child. When you're triggered, it's not the time for you to allow your shadow to do whatever it wants. It's time for you to observe this aspect of you, and spirit will reveal to you why you are this way. Now, the number one thing we have to do is learn how to be honest with ourselves. We have to be real. When we get that guidance from spirit, if we continue to deny our behaviors or if we're looking at everybody else saying that they're the problem, we don't grow. The only way for us to grow is for us to receive that guidance that we're getting from spirit that is telling us this is why you're doing what you're doing. This experience happened to you, and this is the reason why you're doing what you're doing. And if you keep doing that, it's not going to be for your highest good. Spirit will start to reveal those things to you from within. You do not have to go to anybody to help you do your shadow work. You do not have to go outside of yourself for anything. You were created with everything that you need. The number one thing you need is to be honest. The whole, this is who I am, I'm just a human and I can do whatever I want, and all these other things that people say, if you keep that attitude, you're not going to grow. You're going to go through this life like most people, and you will not ascend. Spiritually, you won't. But in the physical, you'll get older. You'll continue to get older every year. But on the spiritual level, you'll still be a baby because you're still doing childish things. Like it talks about in the Bible, it talks about how when you get to a certain level, you should not still be doing those childish things. And there's a lot of adults that are still acting like children because they have not addressed this dark aspect. Either they're afraid of it or they just don't want to deal with it because it's hard. It's hard doing shadow work. Shadow work is not easy because you're facing this dark part of yourself, and it's going to trigger every single thing that you have been through in your life. It's coming up. I'm telling you right now, every moon cycle that changes, you're going to have all kind of things coming up. You're going to have things coming up that happened to you when you were 5 years old that you forgot about. And it's going to come up and it's going to trigger you. And then you have a choice to make. Either I'm going to allow this trigger to make me upset and I'm going to cuss somebody out, or I'm going to go drink, or I'm going to go smoke, or I'm going to go eat, or I'm going to go shop, or I'm going to go suppress these feelings, or I am going to allow these feelings to be. I'm going to feel these emotions. I'm okay with feeling these emotions. It's not going to kill me. I'm okay. I'm going to find a healthy way to release this energy. I'm going to go take me a spiritual bath. I know I always tell y'all to take out spiritual baths, baby. Them salt baths will get you right. You need to be taking those salt baths if you're not. If you want to cleanse the energy, because remember, when you're doing your shadow work, you're pulling things up. Just think about it. If you've ever cleaned up a room that was cluttered or dirty and it's stuff everywhere, once you start pulling stuff out, you got to clean that stuff up. So once you start pulling things out, remember you got to cleanse. And however you cleanse the energy, do that. Whatever works best for you. You can go get out in the sun and cleanse. You can go get in the water and cleanse. Get in the elements, basically. That's how you cleanse. You can take a bath. You can go to the ocean if you got the ocean nearby. All right? Go put your feet in the dirt. I don't necessarily like putting my feet in the grass because I know that there's life underneath there and I don't be wanting to step on my little friends. So, I mean, if you can find you a nice little place where it's not none of our little friends underneath there, then go do that. But whatever it is that you do, find a way to do that. Journaling is so, so helpful. Get you a journal so that you can release. And if you're not the writing type, like my daughter, she's not the writing type. She doesn't like to write. Then pick up your phone and start to record. A lot of you are being guided to record. You think it's just for you. It's not just for you. You're going to heal, but you're also going to help other people to heal as well. So if you're being guided to pick up your phone and start to record, or start a TikTok, or start your YouTube, share your experiences, that is healing for you. Okay? Spirit is guiding you to do that. But if you say, oh, I don't have time, I got to go to work. Most of the reason why people don't have time is because they got to go to work. And that's the reason why Spirit is cutting the work. So when you're not able to work anymore, just know that it's time for you to really get focused on your healing, because healing is going to be so critical for you to get to your next level because of your life purpose and what you came here to do. You can't skip steps on the spiritual path. You just cannot. It's unacceptable. This is not religion. You cannot act like you're doing the work, look like you're doing the work, but you're not doing the work, because Spirit is going to pull your card and you're done. That's it. Okay? You can't go out there and help anybody else if you're not helping yourself. It doesn't work like that. And I don't care what industry you're being called to go into. If you are a spiritual person and you're being called to lead, you better be a leader. And Spirit's going to make sure that you are, because you're going to go down to the darkest of the dark. But Spirit will bring you out. As long as you don't get off the ride, stay in the game. Stay in there. Don't get out. Don't jump out. Okay? Because Spirit's going to take you down to the bottom. I like to think of it like, you know how when a baby is learning how to swim, they'll dump the baby underneath the water and then pull it back out, and everybody's panicking like, oh my God, why did they do that to that baby? But the whole time the instructor's like, this baby is going to be fine. That's what Spirit does to us, you know? Dumps us down into the bottom of the water, and then everybody else is panicking. The baby might be panicking and everybody's panicking. But Spirit's like, you're going to be fine. You're going to make it through. Just relax. Relax. This is the reason why we are being guided to meditate. Not just because we're trying to compete to see how long we can sit and be still. No, we are learning how to quiet our mind. We are learning how to slow down so that we can receive the messages clearly, so that we can know what our next steps, so that we can know what is happening within us and around us. But we won't get that information as long as we're in control and moving fast. So if spirit is guiding you to slow down, start taking a few minutes out of your day to be still and quiet before you go to work or before you go off to do anything else, then spirit is calling you forward. And if you do that, if you start doing that, then I'm telling you what's going to come next. You're going to be guided to start cutting off work. Whatever you do for work is going to decrease. I'm telling you right now, because nothing that you're doing should come before your self development. Because remember, we came here to evolve, we didn't come here to work. Yes, work is a part of it, creation is a part of it, reproduction, that's a part of our life purpose. But that's not the only reason why we came here. We came here to grow and to evolve on a soul level, because as we grow, then that changes the vibration of the planet, not just our work. Our work is just here to help other people. That's a part of it. But our energy is impacting the world every single day. And for those of you that are out there working hard, working yourself to the bone, let me tell you something. That ain't going to last. It's not going to last. We cannot continue to work like that, because that's not helping us to move forward as a collective. We're not supposed to be working so hard that we're so stressed out and tired that we don't even have the ability to sit still for 2 minutes because we're always moving all the time. No. Mm-mm. No, ma'am, no, sir, no, God. No. We have to slow down for those of us that are being called to do so. Because whatever you're doing, it is not just for you, it is for the collective. And the more we choose to separate from the norm, the more we choose to eat different, to live different, to be different, to follow that voice of spirit within, that changes the frequency of this planet. And more people start to do that. That's the reason why there are so many people that are awakening right now, because there are those of you and me, okay? Me too. We are changing this world by changing our world, and that is impacting other people. So you don't have to try to change somebody or save somebody's soul or bless somebody so they can see the goodness and all that type of stuff. You don't have to do any of that. The work that you do on yourself within your life, that's enough. That's enough until you can get to a level to where you have the energy to give to somebody else. Because most people are giving to other people, but they're depleting themselves. You don't have enough energy. You don't have that light frequency to be able to allow spirit to flow through you and into the lives of others, because that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be pouring from no cup. Okay? I don't have no cup. All right? I'm not giving you anything. Even when I'm telling you everything I do, it's not me. This is spirit that is flowing to me and through me. The way that we allow spirit through us is by getting our energy right. Spirit cannot flow through a temple that is not clean. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'll tell you right now. You have to get your energy in alignment with spirit. That's why I tell you all join us a spiritual alignment class. That is what spiritual alignment class is all about. Helping you to get into alignment with spirit within so that you can be a vessel. Because other than that, we are doing whatever we want to do because we feel like this is best. We feel like we know what is best. So then we'll do for people, but we're not doing for people because spirit is guiding us to do it. We think we are, but we're not. Because there are some people that spirit will say, don't touch. I know for sure. There could be a homeless person that you see on the street, and spirit could say, no, don't give them anything. And I know to everybody else, it might sound harsh, like, no, you're supposed to help everybody. No, you're not. You're not. Because you don't know their path. You don't know what they're in that position for. You don't know. You don't know. All you see is there's a homeless person. And that's how most empathic people get taken advantage of, because they don't have those boundaries, because they're not connected to spirit. Until we get connected to spirit, all you empaths out there, until you get connected to spirit, you will continue to get hurt. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally drained. And it's not because of some narcissist that's destroying your life. It's because you don't have boundaries and you don't have discernment. But that's only because you're not connected to spirit. And it's not wrong. That's just the way it is. I went through it. It's the way it is. That's how we learn. Don't ask me why humans have to learn hard lessons. We just do. That's what we want. So that's where we get. All right. But when you get spiritually connected and you start taking time away from working hard and you stop accepting this is just the way that I am and this is the way that I have to do it, and you actually start listening to yourself, your body will tell you what you need. When you need rest, your body will say, I need to go to sleep. That's reparenting yourself. Your shadow might want to stay up all night long and scroll because you're getting some type of fix or hit from that. But your higher self will say, you need to get your rest because there's development that takes place when you go to sleep at night. Put the phone in the closet. Put the phone in the drawer at 10:30 and don't touch it again until tomorrow. Don't get on your phone or social media until after 12. You set boundaries for yourself. And we have to learn that. We all have to learn that. Okay? We can't let our shadow just run our life and accept that this is the way it has to be. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. If you allow your shadow to run you, you're going to be lost. You're going to be lost. And most of the world is lost because they allow their lower aspect to guide them, which is the body. Okay? You know, they say the flesh is weak. Yeah, the flesh is weak. But when you're connected to the spirit, the flesh don't stand a chance. And most people are trying to do work, okay, spiritual work with their body and with their mind. And that's the reason why they're not successful. That's the reason why they have to fight. This is the reason why they work so hard. This is the reason why it's overwhelming, because they're trying to use their body to do something that it's not created to do. The only thing your body can do is be quiet and sit down and surrender. That's the best thing your body could do. That's the best thing you can do, is learn how to get your body to be still and be quiet, so that you can hear from spirit. So when spirit speaks to you from within, you allow that to flow. And you make decisions not based off of what you want and how you feel, but what is for the highest good of you and all life. Not just for you, but what is for the highest good of all life. The shadow is selfish. The shadow says, I don't care. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to get. But your higher self will say, no, you shouldn't have that right now. The more you learn to listen to that aspect of yourself, you'll start to see transformation. You'll start to see a change. I didn't just change myself. I didn't just wake up and become the person that I am. I submitted to that voice of spirit that says fast for 40 days. Don't eat meat for 9 days. Start drinking lime water every day. Eat greens every day. Eat berries every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't eat fruits and vegetables. Not one day. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not drinking water. Not one day. But that's not because that's what I want, but that is because the spirit is guiding me from within. And I don't even have the desire to have those things that I used to eat before, because y'all already know, because I used to tell y'all, I used to tear chicken up, honey. All of it. All of it. Going out to restaurants, spending hundreds of dollars every month on fast food. I can't remember the last time I ate out, because spirit has guided me to come home and cook my own food. I cook for my family and I feel good after I eat. I don't feel stuffed and tired after I eat, but I had to learn that. But who taught me? Spirit. Okay. Spirit will teach you. Who is spirit? Our creator, source, the all. Call it what you want. Universe, whatever. It's the force of all life. It's the spirit of all life. It's the goodness of all life that wants to guide us. But that lower aspect of us, we have to know that that negative ego will destroy us every time. And this is the reason why people can only go so far in life. People have all these things that they want to do, but they're trying to do it with their own willpower. Your willpower will not work. Okay? Let me tell you about your willpower. It will not work. The only thing you can do is learn how to listen. Okay? You don't have to believe what I'm telling you because some people don't believe in that force. Okay, you don't have to. Believe in your higher self. Some people say it's your higher self, which is one with spirit. Same thing. Call it what you want. That highest aspect of you is one with spirit. And when you learn how to start listening to that aspect of yourself that's telling you what to do, then you will discipline the shadow. The shadow knows. Okay. I can't play around. I can't play around. And this is what I'll say too. When you're doing your shadow work, it is okay for you to, loosen up the collar a little bit. All right. Because on the path, you will have times when you just feel like I'm not in the freaking mood. I don't care. When you start feeling like that, try to fight with your shadow if you want to. You're going to slide back. I guarantee you. So instead of you forcing yourself to do something when you know that you are feeling some type of way, treat yourself, nurture yourself instead. I know when my shadow has started feeling some type of way, and I'm like, look, I'm just not in the mood. I don't care. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm not going to do it. When I start getting like that, and I'm going through lesson after lesson after lesson, or I have all these things coming up, all those triggers are coming up that I was telling you about, I get like that where I'm like, look, I'm not in the mood. And I'll tell my children, today's not a talking day for me. I don't have much to say today. I'm not mad or upset or nothing. I just really don't feel like talking today. And you have to have an environment of people who understand that it's okay for you to want to be alone. You should be alone. They should encourage you to be alone. They shouldn't be all in your space, all in your face. So why you didn't answer the phone? Why you didn't do that? Look, I'm not in the mood. So if you feel like you need to be by yourself, then be by yourself and be unapologetic about it. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. And when your shadow wants to be by itself, then be by yourself. But don't stay that way. Just give yourself some time and treat yourself. So, like me, y'all know I love chocolate, but I can't go out to the store and get no chocolate cookie like I used to, or go get some donut or something like that. I can't put that stuff in my body now. But what I can do is go to the store and get the ingredients and come back home and make myself a little chocolate treat myself. I can make my own chocolate cake. I know what's in it. It tastes good. It's delicious. And I feel satisfied. I can sit there and watch TV and just chill for the day. Some days you just need to chill. Sometimes you just got to turn the TV off, turn off the computer, turn off all the things, find a movie that's going to make you laugh, or watch somebody on YouTube or whatever that's just going to make you laugh, not scrolling, not nothing. You just in it, and just watch whatever. Just relax, you know? Keep your pajamas on for the whole day. You can do that when you're connected to spirit. I'm telling you the truth. Spirit don't want you out there working hard. Spirit is going to guide you to rest. I promise you. If you're working hard, that's because you want to. That's because you want to do that. You're leading your life. I'm telling you that right now. Because spirit wants your attention. Spirit wants you to be quiet and still. So when you start feeling like I need to take a break, maybe I need to just go catch a movie. Maybe I just need to go on a walk in nature. Maybe I just need to, not do anything today. That spirit, that spirit. I'm telling you. You know how it talks about in the Bible, come to me, those of you that are heavy burdened, and I'll give you rest, or whatever it says. Y'all know what it says? That's so real. That is so real. And I'm so thankful and grateful to be on this path. It's not an easy path because it requires so much sacrifice and so much discipline. But either you're going to sacrifice doing things that are righteous, or you're going to be sacrificing and doing things that are not righteous. Either way, you're going to have to sacrifice. So it's like, for me, it just makes sense to sacrifice and to be getting better than for me to be making sacrifices and I'm getting worse, or I'm not growing at all, which is getting worse because nothing stays the same. Everything is moving every single day. And from this point today to this point next year, meaning the same day next year, you should have changed. It's unacceptable for us to be the same way and 365 days have passed and we're the same way we were last year. No, this planet is showing us that we have cycles. And just like those cycles come around, we're supposed to have cycles. And we're supposed to be changing within those cycles. And that should be acceptable. This world will tell us that no, you need to stay the same. If you're changed or you're doing something different, then that's wrong. But I'm here to tell you that change is normal. And when you're doing your shadow work, you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be willing to change. That's just it. If you want to grow, okay? If you want to grow, that's just what you have to do. So, I'm going to invite you into spiritual alignment class. All you ladies out there, and you're tired of working hard, I'm telling you, you don't have to. I'm telling you right now, you do not have to work hard. It is a process. There is work that you have to do. But just like I said, it's better to do work on this side, healing and working on myself, than to be clocking in every day and working on a job that I don't even want to be in, or working in my business and I don't even have time for myself. No. Mm-mm. Get connected to spirit. That's the only thing that's going to help you. That's the only thing that's going to help you. And I'm going to say it one more time. Okay, come on, Dr. Moore. That's the only thing that's going to help you. Make it play. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, all right. This is an exercise. I want you all to try this. And this is a good shadow work exercise. If you are normally the type of person that is aggressive, so say if somebody does something to you that you don't like, if you're the type of person that normally will cuss a person out, or you're normally the person that hold a grudge or whatever, the next time somebody does something to you that you don't like, instead of you going up with your anger, go within, all right? Learn to calm yourself down and have a conversation. You may not have it at that time, but learn how to have a conversation and express yourself. Tell them what you want, tell them what you don't want, and then observe their behaviors. And then see, okay, is this person aligning with what I want and what I don't want? If they're not aligning, then remove them. Okay. That is your opportunity to be destructive. All right. If they're not in alignment, then it's time for you to remove them out of your life. That's it. No questions asked. Because you have to carry yourself through this life. So you can't have people that are poking at you and pulling you down because you're going up. Okay. And if you're the type of person, if somebody does something that you don't like and you don't speak up for yourself, or you just say, oh, it's okay, it's all right, we can work it out. You're automatically trying to find a solution to everybody's problem or whatever they're doing. You're automatically making an excuse for it. Instead of you doing that, the next time somebody does something that you don't agree with, you let them know that you don't agree with what they did. You tell them. But again, you don't have to be angry and you don't have to cuss nobody out, but you do need to speak up for yourself. Speak up for that little child that is within you. It's okay for you to say what you need to say, because this is what I've learned too, cousin. You can say anything. I literally can say anything to anybody. You want to know why? Because I know how to say it. So if you know how to say anything that you need to say, they will receive it. And I'm thankful that I've learned this, because there was a time where it's like, I'm going to say what I want to say and I don't care how you feel about it. But I actually care about how people feel about what I say. So I'm going to be tactful and I'm going to use the proper words. I'm going to slow down and take my time. Sometimes I need to say it in a way where it's firm. Sometimes I could say it in a playful way. Sometimes I could, you say it in whatever way you need to, but you can say whatever you need to say to a person and get your point across. And you don't have to make them feel bad about it. You don't have to be disrespectful. As an adult, we have to learn how to communicate. That's just what it is. And when you learn how to communicate, people receive it and they respect you for it. So that's an exercise for your shadow. So don't be surprised if you have somebody that's going to do something in your life that you don't agree with. It could be your child, it could be your friend, it could be a family member, it could be whoever. Okay. Just know that this is spirit if you're listening to this. So if that comes up, then you're going to be granted the opportunity to evolve. All right. Because I don't like to use the word trigger because, the triggers be triggering, but we're not going to use that word. We're going to say that we're granted the opportunity to evolve because that is the reason why you're being triggered. What's hidden down in the shadows, it can come up and it needs to come up. And that's a good thing. Okay. So, cousin, I hope that helped you. Make sure y'all join us in spiritual alignment class. For all of you that are dealing with any blockages or you need clarity about relationships, personal development, career and finance, anything that's going on in your life, make sure you download the free guide, 3 things you can do today to get clarity about any situation. I'm always here. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.